So, good evening, everyone. We're online. So let's see the answers to the two riddles. Um, so the yolk of the egg is white, or the yolk of the egg are white. They're both incorrect because the yolk of the egg is the center and it's yellow, so it's not white. And what gets wetter the more gets more wet while it dries is a towel, because as you dry yourself, the towel gets wetter. So, good evening, Elizabeth. Yes, we've just started. It's just the right moment to come. Good evening, Englover. A towel, like you said, VG. Okay, so I think we probably ought to start. I think that's a good moment to begin. Good evening, Ricardo. And the first of these idioms today is pretty easy, I think. So let's see and paste this. Okay. Hi there, Bass. And I'm Rock Fan. Great to see you both. So let's see how it goes. So, yeah, this next one is the first one is an easy question. I don't know how long it takes to actually get on the screen. So, hi there, Rad. So, it is very near. It is a throw away. Good evening, Arif. And Salif, it's good to be excited. So, it's very near. Okay, Englover, that was great. Good evening, Mohammed. Good evening, Moshir. It's a hat throwaway. Okay, and good evening, Vitalia and Renyard. Shalom. So, if something is very near, we've had two good answers so far. Wow. And a third one from Manjira, yes. So, Englover and Vitalia and Manjira. And I'm Rock Fan as well. And thank you both, Vitalia, Manjira, and I'm Rock Fan for the apostrophe S. Good evening, Asma. So, it is a stone's throw away. I probably ought to do this in capitals. That's it, Rod. So notice in this one, I think it's quite interesting. You see the apostrophe S. Well, normally the rule I teach is that you only use apostrophes for animate things. So this is an exception to that rule. It's a stone's throw away. Alexander, good evening. So, good to see you. I'm glad you like them. And Bus and Cheyenne as well. Wonderful to have you all here. So, like I said, notice this apostrophe S. It's very unusual because normally you should use this for apostrophe for people and for companies and things, but not a stone. Good evening, Tanetra. That's the idea. Yeah, it's a stone's throw away. So if something's very near, it's a stone's throw away. The distance you have to throw a stone. Good evening, Om. Nice to see you. So the next one. This item is very fashionable. It's all the... what? It's all the... but Victor Gabriel, years... It is an exception, but with time, because you can do a minute's silence, a week's class, 3 days working, 3 days work, and it works. Okay, so Vitalia again, you get all of these. I'm impressed. So good evening, Wilted Flower, and good evening, Masni. Nice to see you. Masni from Malaysia, brilliant. So this item is very fashionable. Like Vitalia said, I'm sorry, Elizabeth, it's not hype, but as Cheyenne says, the rage. So Vitalia and Cheyenne, the rage. Exactly. So if something's all the rage, I was going to put that in capitals. Rage. It's all the rage. It's really, really, really fashionable. Okay, that's it, I'm rock fan. So if something is all the rage, it's the height of fashion. Everybody likes it. That's it, Tanetra. Yes, all the rage. So, um, I hope my live streams will become all the rage. I hope everybody wants to watch them. Okay, it's all the rage. What's all the rage at the moment? I think probably staying at home is all the rage. Rage means anger. Is when you're really, really angry. He flew into a rage. He shouted in rage. Yeah? He was enraged. Rage, anger. Okay, so carrying a lot of weapons. I don't know, Bas, but that's the what the idiom is. Maybe everybody's um, raging about it. Okay, Count Beauty, there you go. You got in there. Rage against the machine. Exactly, Elizabeth. So, Count Beauty and Vitalie and Danielle and Englova and Tenetra and Cheyenne. So, that's very good. If you've got carrying a lot of weapons, we say and armed to the teeth, like Mangieren ein Rockfan. Rage on. I saw on Frozen, let the storm rage on. But the storm is angry. So let the storm continue to cause problems, to be angry. You can't call stop a storm, so you just need to let it rage on. Yeah, you just have to continue to let it be angry, and there's nothing you can do. Sort of Black Friday vibe, all the rage. Yeah. Okay, that's good if it looks like an idiom in your native language. Good evening, Ali Boyev. So we're going to have another one any second after armed to the teeth. The policeman was armed to the teeth. So you can do anything you want to do. The world is your hair. So the only limiting factor is the world. You can do anything you want. I'm not sure this is always true, but there we go. Vitalie and Filippo. That's a good one as well. Unfortunately, Bas, it's not your empire. As Cheyenne and Anya say, it's your... I'm going to wait for a second. Yeah, it's your oyster. That's it, Danielle, as well. Very good. So if we say the world is your oyster, the only thing that limits your opportunity is what's in the world. Armed to the teeth. You've got weapons everywhere, Englover, and even your teeth are weapons. You can't say empire, Ein Rock fan. It's your oyster. The world is your oyster. An oyster, this is the shellfish that you eat. The world is your stage. Ooh, Tanetra. All the world's a stage. That is Shakespeare. I think the world is your oyster. I'm going to accept the world is your stage as well. Because it strongly echoes Shakespeare. So the world's your oyster, the world's your stage, I guess. So Andrea, good evening. And we try one more now. Yeah, so the only thing that's limiting in this is the size of the world. I think unfortunately in life there are other limiting factors as well, apart from just the size of the world itself. So here's the next one. He has an inferiority complex. He has on his so if you have an inferiority complex, if you think you are less than other people, or you have a bad opinion of yourself. So there we go, Vitalia. I ought to get you to set the questions, I think. That's very good. So good evening, Alma. So a chip on his shoulder. Okay, a chip here is like a piece that's missing. Yes, that's it, Cheyenne. A bump on his back. In English, I would say a hump on his back. But no, in English we say to have a chip on your shoulder. To have an inferiority complex. He has a chip on his shoulder. It's like there's a chip, a piece missing. That's the idea, Danielle Mangier. A chip on his shoulder to Netra. Good evening, Emin. Yeah, it's a hump. Yeah, normally they say a hump. Does it reply to resentment too? If somebody's got a chip on their shoulder, I very definitely think they resent other people who they think are better. What's the complex here? An inferiority complex. Yeah? Complex is like a psychological syndrome. Yeah? He's got a complex about his nose. He thinks his nose is really big. It's okay, Katya. You're here to learn. If you start by learning these, you're going to do a great job. A chip off his shoulder. No, Alma, you're thinking of a chip off the old block. A chip off the old block. So it's like saying your son or your daughter is exactly like you. Yeah, your son is a chip off the old block. He's exactly the same as you. Okay, but that itself is slightly different. Yeah, a chip off the old block. So let's try another one then. But a chip on his shoulder, an inferiority complex, is one shoulder is lower than the other. That's the idea. Okay, so none of you should, like father, like son. That's the chip off the old block. The seed doesn't fall far from the tree. Yeah, that's a chip off the old block. Okay, so we've got another one now. You have not understood correctly. You've got the wrong end of the... That's a pleasure, Aina. So, you've got the wrong end of the what? The wrong end of the... I bet Vitalia gets this. Yes, there you go, Vitalia. You beat me to it. Okay, and Asma Khan, the wrong end of the stick. And Anya, the stick. And Manjira, ein rock fan. Okay, there's lots of good answers here. That's brilliant. So, to get the wrong end of the stick. Well done, Farid. Yeah, if you get the wrong end of the stick, you've understood something wrongly. You haven't understood it. You got it. I would say I'm rock fan the wrong way round. The wrong way round would work. As you stick with it, Katya. You'll do fine. The wrong end of the rope. We normally say the stick. Well done, Edmeen. Not the street, but the stick. Wrong end of the stick. You have to have your stick, I guess, the right way round. Yeah? If you don't have your stick the right way round, then you've got the wrong end of the stick. You've understood something incorrectly. Stick. Yeah, to get the wrong end of the stick. So don't get the wrong end of the stick when I explain the meanings of these to you. So, Bas, that's it. Good. And Sinetra, good. Yeah, the next one I think is quite difficult as well. So, not as good as... I think that should have an it. Not as good as it claims... or its reputation would suggest. It's not it's up to be. Yep, it's stick to Netra, very definitely. I've written that in the wrong place. Not as good as it claims, or its reputation would suggest. So it's not Anya. Well done. That's very good, Anya. Okay, so I'm going to give you the answer to this one. And Danielle Fabry, yes, very good. So you guys know a lot of English. It's not all it's cracked up to be. As good as it's cracked up to be. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Or, yeah, as you say, Vitaly, it's not as good as it's cracked up to be. That would work very well. It's not what it's cracked up to be. So something with a lot of hype very often is very disappointing. It's not all it's cracked up to be. People say that it's brilliant, but I don't think it's very good. I don't think it's all it's cracked up to be. People talked about this film and said it's great. I don't know, the Blair Witch Project. I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't all it was cracked up to be. That's it, Emin. Yeah, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Well, something can be all it's cracked up to be. It can be as good as people say, as good as people think. Overrated, absolutely, Cheyenne. You know, if something is overrated, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Okay, it didn't live up to the hype. That's the idea, Danielle. Okay, so I think it's probably time we change and we try the story. That's it. All it's cracked up to be. It's not everything it's cracked up to be. So the story today is quite an easy one, I think. It's called The Rooster and the Pearl. I need to paste this in the space. So the story is called The Rooster and the Pearl. So a rooster is a male chicken. Cock-a-doodle-doo! And the pearl, this is what you find inside an oyster. You could have a pearl necklace. It's for a piece of jewellery. So a couple of questions. What was the rooster doing when he found the pearl? What did the rooster say about the pearl? And you know me, what moral would you give the story? So we want to know what the rooster was doing when he found the pearl. We want to know what the rooster said about the pearl. And we want to know what you think would be a good moral. So let's try it. It's a cock, yes, absolutely. A rooster was busily scratching in the earth trying to find something to eat. By chance, he found a pearl that had been lost by its owner. What a shame, said the rooster. No doubt this pearl is very valuable in the world of men. But as for me, I would prefer a single grain of corn instead of all the pearls in the world. Yeah. Okay, Alexander, that's a nice idea. Fairy tale of ancient Greek philosopher. Aesop, that's it. In English, I mean, we say A-E-S-O-P. Whoops, A-E-S-O-P without the small. I'm a real fan of Aesop. So we want to know what the rooster was doing when he found the pearl. What did the rooster say about the pearl? And what moral would you give the story? So let me read it again. A rooster was busily scratching in the earth, trying to find something to eat. By chance, he found a pearl that had been lost by its owner. What a shame, said the rooster. No doubt this pearl is very valuable in the world of men. But as for me, I would prefer a single grain of corn instead of all the pearls in the world. So, Elizabeth, scratching the ground to find some food. Okay, that's great you know this one, Emine. So, Danielle, he was scratching, looking for something to eat. Good. Aesop, yes, Aesop. He's great. I love Aesop. Elizabeth Bennet, he would have preferred to find Acorn. I think corn generally is uncountable. A grain of corn, a piece of corn, or some corn. But acorn, we don't normally say it in the singular. I'm a rock fan. The rooster was trying to find something to feed himself. Good English. That's great English. Yeah, it's exactly what he was doing. Um, Hair. Okay, this fairy tale was mentioned in essays by Francia Bacon. So, digging up the dirt. Absolutely, Cheyenne. Mangira. Scratching the earth. On scratching the earth, the rooster found the pearl. I love this on scratching. You've been listening to me. Naima. He was trying to feed himself. Great. Anya, too. He knew the pearl was something valuable, but he would rather have found a grain of corn. Great English, Anya. And Victor Gabriel. First, he was scratching the earth to find something to eat. Second, he said it was not valuable for him. I think probably to him, Victor Gabriel. And third, next time, go find food in another place. Lol. Difficult, this one. I think it's to do with the subjectivity of value. Is value subjective or objective? It's clearly not objective. So, good evening, Gurav. So let's see, Danielle. The rooster pitied the man for losing his pearl, but it would have preferred a bit of corn instead. Great English, Danielle. And Count Beauty. What a shame. No doubt this pearl is very valuable in the world of men, he said. As a fact, for the rooster, it was rubbish. The moral is, cast not pearls before swine. That's great, Beauty. That's really good English. Ha. Let's see. Aesop's actually a Greek, is a Greek name. And we spell different names in different ways in different languages, Englover. So, Elizabeth. Although the pearl was very valuable for people, he would have liked some food. Great English, Elizabeth. Rockfan, the rooster said that he would rather find a grain of corn than have found the pearl. That's great English, Rockfan. Emine, you shouldn't gratitude Aesop's rooster with pearl while he is sufficient with grain. You shouldn't show Aesop's rooster your gratitude with pearls until he has enough grain. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, for people to appreciate other things, they first need to have food. If you don't have enough food, there's no culture. Cheyenne, moral. There's no accounting for taste. That's great. And Alexander, what is good for people, what is good for people is not necessarily good for animals. You need an extra is, Alexander. Aina, what you find in life sometimes does not fit, Aina, with your necessities. That's good, what you expect. Aina, but somehow it can be what other people would expect or want. Exactly, that's pretty good English, Aina. The rooster was scratching in an attempt to find something to feed upon. Ooh, I love that, feed upon, that's really good. And Ricardo, the moral, sometimes we face with treasures useless for us. To face is like a confrontation, Ricardo. Sometimes we meet, sometimes we come across. I think maybe come across, find by chance. So, sometimes we come across treasures that are useless for us, Ricardo. Rockfan, not always what you consider valuable is valuable for other people. In that case, an animal. Absolutely, Rockfan. Mangira. The rooster, in spite of admitting the pearl to be something valuable, preferred grain to it. Yeah, preferred a grain to it, a seed to it. To feed upon just means to eat. So last night I fed upon the finest fish. It's a formal way of saying to eat. And Elizabeth, the pearl was useless in that moment. Yes, because he couldn't eat it. Okay, so he couldn't eat it. So I think this is probably a good point for me to actually read the words. So, good evening, Sodnam. In life, most of the things we find in life are useless. I quite agree with that. most of the things that we value and we think are valuable to us actually have almost no value whatsoever. Oh, it fits in the whole space. Englover, moral to each his own. I like that. That's a good moral. Good evening, Pharaoh. Pharaoh Ere. Nice to see you. Aina. Value depends on the point of view. Absolutely. That's a good one, Aina. So, let's read this. A rooster was busily scratching with his nails in the earth, trying to find something to eat. By chance, by luck, he found a pearl that had been lost by its owner. What a shame! How sad! What bad luck, said the rooster. No doubt, certainly, this pearl is very valuable in the world of men. But as for me, I would prefer a single grain of corn instead of all the pearls in the world. So, and Emin, all the best things in our life are free. For example, freedom. I quite agree, Emin. Elizabeth, or we underestimate them. Yeah, you're right. So, good. Yeah, it fits in the whole space. I'm very lucky. Get rid of that pearl or you can be killed at that moment. Wilted Flower, I'm sure the pearl is probably dangerous for the rooster. Ein Rock fan, moral. Sometimes not even the most valuable thing could replace something simple. Yeah, you see, I think in this life we've got our values the wrong way round. Okay, so let's change again then. And let's just try a few easy questions to finish up with. So first one, what colour indicates you should stop? What colour indicates you should stop? We can say to the rooster, Cheyenne, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. That's life. So you can say to the rooster, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. So what colour indicates you should stop? What colour indicates you should stop? Aina, what it can be valuable. So what and it, you can't use them together. What can be valuable for someone is not necessarily valuable to you. So, red, good, we're getting some answers. Victor Gabriel, Count Beauty, Elizabeth Bennett, Anglover, Anya, Assam, Ein Rockfan, Ricardo, Emin, the colour red, Rockfan. Om says the pearl's incapability of not quenching the hunger of the rooster relegated it to a useless material. That's absolutely. Danielle Guevara, when it comes to traffic laws, red. Absolutely. A hungry stomach can't value pearls. That's great, Manjira. And then Sherwin says rouge. Rouge would do fine for me. So let's put the question here. Here, Sherwin, rojo. Absolutely. I haven't done this properly. So what colour indicates you should stop? That's better. Here. Black death, the absolute stop. You're right as well, I think. Well, wilted flower. So Manjira, red. So let's try another one. Name an item of cutlery. 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 Cutlery. What is cutlery? That's the question. Name an item of cutlery. Cutlery. Do you know what cutlery is? Haha, I think maybe you don't. Name an item of cutlery. What's cutlery? Name an item of cutlery. Ooh, I'm going to have to put the question right here then. So there's even a little clue. So, Danielle, a fork. Anya, a fork. Count Beauty, a spoon. Scissors. I guess they're probably an item of cutlery. Anya, a knife. And Anya, a knife. Very good. A fork. Ein Rockfan, a fork. Danielle, fork, spoon, knife. Knife, spoon. Elizabeth, an axe. I don't know, would you have an axe on a table? Probably not. What the bloody hell is all this? It's a question, Antonio. Calmate, tío. H.A., a knife. Cuberteria. Yeah, that's the meaning of cutlery. Yeah, cutlery are the things that you use to eat with. The knife, the spoon, the fork, a ladle, things like that. A ladle. Yeah, a ladle, Borka. Good to see you, Borka. It's been some time. Okay, let's try one more then. Yeah, a teaspoon, Alex. That's it. Antonetra, spoon. Cutlery includes my hand. Yeah, you're probably right. In preparing and serving and eating food. It's a lot harder to eat with your hand than it appears. Eating something like curry with your hand curry and rice is not easy. Yeah. So, oh yes. So the next question. Give me an example of an interjection. Give me an example of an interjection. Give me an interjection. Give me an example of an interjection. Give me an example of an interjection. So, an interjection. Yeah, it takes a while for you to type and it to come through to me. You see it even just flashed up on the screen. I guess your hashi could be a piece of cutlery, yes. A carafe. Maybe. Stop. That's an imperative. Dot. No, not quite. So Englover, that's a good one. And Sodnum, Englover, hurrah. Okay, I guess I'm going to accept Jesus. But Keller, boom. So, an interjection. Alack, I love it, Manjira. God, oops, look out, hey, pardon, oh no, excuse me, that's brilliant, good heavens, oh yeah, as Sodnam said, shit, oh my God, oh dear. I'm so pleased you remember me, of course I do, Borka. So, oh my goodness, rock fan, Victor Gabriel, yay, Ina, really, I mean, yes, yes, oh gosh, Tanetra, alas, thank you, Sherwin, and Emine, yes, Tanetra, oh my, Emine, nope, Elizabeth, indeed, okay, that was very good. Okay, my friends, I think that's probably enough for today. I will be back again next week and we'll do some more idioms and we'll do a story and a couple of questions to finish. Oh my lord, no way, lol. Holy shit, as Ina says. Oh my almighty, I like that thanks again to all of you. For God's sake, Danielle, I certainly is an interjection. Aha. What the hell? So, thanks a lot, guys and girls. You've been a brilliant audience as always. I'll be back again next week. Stay safe. Steer clear of this virus, and I will see you all next week. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like the story, Katya, and it's wonderful to see you all. Have a great Monday and whatever's left of your day today. So, bye-bye. Thank you.